Hey world, it's 5 to 9 in the morning, it's the 9th of July. Brief one today. It's coming to the point where Saturn's about to stand still in Scorpio. He's going to stand still almost exactly halfway through at 16 degrees of Scorpio in the middle of the sign. And then he's going to start moving forward, moving into Sagittarius briefly in early December for a few months before coming back into late Scorpio again in about a year from now for a few more months, then that's it. But the coming few months are going to see Saturn in Scorpio at its hardest. Now, we've already seen in this last 2 years, at least in Britain, I can't speak for the rest of the world, although there's been traces of it. We've already seen the furore around the abuse of children by elements of various different churches. And generally it's brought organised religion into much more disrepute than it was before. More recently, in the last year and a half with Saturn and Scorpio, we've also seen the cult of old celebrity being exposed as being nothing but, in many cases, a cover-up for a paedophile ring at the highest of level in open sight, which unfortunately is now going to raise suspicions onto everyone from that time. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Saturn and Scorpio is only gearing up for the big one. I note that in Britain, the two women who are running the inquiry into potential paedophilia and child abuse links connected with the House of Commons are both strong Scorpionic influences. The female High Court Judge, Lady Butler Schloss, and Theresa May both have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, and I believe that they will both get things done in a way that will be seen to be transparent and rooting out everything. It needs to be women who run this. This Saturn in Scorpio is proving to be one of the most difficult of transits. I was born with Saturn in Scorpio some 59 years ago, so I'm no stranger to its darkness, and I've always suspected that there's an element somehow of sordidness, corruption, twistedness at the heart of what I see as the so-called establishment. But I always thought that was my own paranoia, and now I'm beginning to realise actually I was right all along. So what's going to come out of this? Well, what's going to come out of this is a much greater degree of transparency, because that's the only option. There can be no more hidden little boys clubs, no more elites. It does seem that much of this seems to come from either the public schools, which in their own turn are fed by the Victorian images of the workhouse where children were forced into slave labour. There seems to be this attitude amongst certain old-fashioned, perhaps patriarchal or misogynistically based institutions that children are possessions, or that women are possessions. And perhaps one of the greatest lessons of Saturn in Scorpio is that this type of uncompromising, dominating power structure is now coming to an inevitable and hopeful, well, painful end for those who aren't going with the flow and seeing how it goes. This is going to become more and more amplified in the short term. Shortly, Mars is going to move into Scorpio. This will happen at the end of this month. And then it will stay there basically until the end of August, start of September time. And we're going to get, mid-September time it's going to stay there too. So we're going to get a lot more revelations around sordidness, corruption from positions of power. And the fact that it's happening just in Britain, or predominantly in Britain so far, is only the touchstone for the rest of the world. Show me a country where there's not been abuse from positions of power. This is Uranus-Pluto square with Saturn in Scorpio. This is the beginning of the end, or the middle of the end, for the old-fashioned, the patriarchal, the dominator. Saturn in Scorpio is going to have its way now, at least during this coming month. Well, it's in conjunct Uranus. Saturn is standing still, I think, on the 16th at 16 degrees of Scorpio, and Uranus is standing still on the 18th, I think, at 16 degrees of Aries. Whoa. Two bits of sandpaper really having a go. Structure and order versus chaos and freedom. And with Saturn in Scorpio versus Uranus and Aries, I'm on the fence. Big struggles. Can't wait till August. Catch you later. Bye.